Symbol series, our next chapter for logical reasoning. Symbol series is all about logically decoding the pattern of images that is given in the question and then understanding the sequence that follows. Like in the given example, we can see a sequence of 4 sets of images. Now let's try to understand the pattern. As we can see that this is an alternating series where the first image has a relation with the third and the second has a relation with the fourth. Now as we can see in the first, that E in the middle is vertically downwards, and in the third, E in the middle is vertically upwards. Now in 2 we can see all the E's are vertically downwards, and in 4 we can expect that all the E's will be vertically upwards. So the correct option here is option 3. Then let's see the next example. Now in this figure, as we can understand the sequence and its pattern, that in the first image there are 3 circles where the middle circle is the bigger one with 2 smaller circles at its left and right, with the right circle being shaded. Now in figure 2 we can see now triangles with 2 smaller triangles with the left and right of a bigger triangle, and the smaller triangle at the left is now shaded. Now the next image is of a small square. So following this pattern, we can see it will be followed by a bigger square and a shaded square at the right. Because the shading pattern is first it's in the right, then it comes to the left, then again it will be in the right. So here the right option will be option 2. Now let's see the next example. First let's try to understand the pattern of the sequence. Let's consider the first segment. It's a triangle, a square, then again a triangle. Then the second segment is of a square, a circle and a square. So as you can see from both these segments that the middle element of the first segment comes to the left and right and repeats itself in the second element. Like in the third element, the middle element of the second segment, that is a circle, comes to the left and right of the third element, and the center is of a rhombus. Now for the fourth element, we can see a rhombus in the left and a rectangle in the center. So the right will be automatically a rhombus. So here the right option is option 1. Then let's see the next example. Now in this pattern, as we can see that the first element of the first segment is a single line, then the second element is a double line, then the third element is of 3 lines, and the fourth element is of 4 lines, which becomes a square. Then the fifth element is of 5 sides with a pentagon. Then after that, what we see is interesting is now that the number of sides are getting reduced. So the pentagon becomes a square, and the square then again reduces itself to 3 sides. Then following this pattern, we can say that the next image will be an angle of 2 sides, then the final image will be a single straight line. So here the right option is option 4. Next example. Now let's try to understand this pattern. Now as you can see, the total number of dots in the first element of the first segment is 5. Then in the second element it's 3, and in the third element is 1. But in the second segment, it is in the different order. First is 1, second is 3, and third is 5. Then in the third segment, it will be the order which will be opposite to the second segment. That means first we'll get 5 dots, then we'll get 3 dots, and then we'll get 1 dot. So the required option which can fulfill this pattern is option 1.